Hey guys, Sam here. I just came back from taking the AP Macroeconomics Exam, and I just wanted to give my thoughts and opinion on the test and the class as a whole. So, the test itself, I'd say it was on the side of one of the harder tests. Um, the main things that you would probably need to know, or that I experienced, was you need to know the nine graphs. Well, technically, foreign exchange counts as two. Um, and a lot of the graphs are similar in the sense that's like a supply and demand and just different names for them. But it's important to like practice, like really, really practice like labeling those each portion of those graphs. And honestly, it's not that hard. And once you understand like well, first of all, memorize the what the graph looks like and what each part of the graph is labeled, you go ahead and understand the reasoning and like the logic behind these graphs. And they're just simple lines too. It's not that much of a great thing for them to ask you to understand. And most of the questions, like I would say 80 to 90% of the questions was just using those graphs in some way, and manipulating them in some way to get the answer. And one of the hardest parts was trying to remember what what shifted and what was the movement all along the curve. Um, but essentially, yeah, that was one of the biggest things that I remembered from the test. Another thing to remember is like CIGXN for GDP. That's a big equation, and also the money velocity equation. It's like the PV is equal to MV or something. So those are really big. And then the three employment, there were like three or four questions on um like labor force, types of people in the labor force, discouraged workers. So just review, those are the big things. They didn't really ask too much on the federal bank, but they did ask questions on like fiscal policy and monetary policy. So those are like the biggest things. If you review for those, you'll be chilling on the thing. So the way I studied for this was Jacob Clifford, and this is like obviously you've all probably heard of him. He's like the Heimler's history equivalent for macro. And he has this really good video that goes over each of the graphs. And but just watching this, I was able to realize what I forgot. So this video was really good. I'll link it in the description for y'all. Another really good review was the Khan Academy macroeconomics review. So like a lot of the questions on Khan Academy mirrored what I like were very, very similar to what I saw in the AP exam. So I just recommend going through Khan Academy and looking at those practice problems. So yeah, that was pretty much the test. As a whole, I would say I actually enjoyed economics. My art teacher was not the best, and uh, teacher kind of sucked, not gonna lie. But the classes of economics as a concept and as a class is very, very interesting, and I recommend taking it. Although the course load is very light, like we never got any homework other than reading. Um, it's pretty difficult. Like again, it's on the harder end, but in the grand scheme of things, like in terms of the AP exam, it's really just a mishmash of really very simple topics. There's a reason it's a semester class. Like it's not too difficult. Um, but I recommend taking economics because the course itself is interesting. We don't get a lot of homework, and you'll be able to maintain like a 93, 94 throughout the year. So, yeah, I rate economics like again, I would say a 7 out of 10. It was a good class, and I liked it. Probably, I probably like lit better, and my math class is better, but econ was definitely better than classes like AP US history, and other classes like that. So I don't know. It's a social studies class, and you'll be taking all this after or before your AP government class. And some of you might even take micro and macro. Our school doesn't offer micro, unfortunately, so it is what it is, you know. Maybe they'll offer it later, but I'll be graduated. But with that, yeah, two more videos on the way, and thanks for watching.